Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to the third video of my kind of little foundation series, and if you haven't seen the last two videos, I'll be sure to link them down below and in the cards, so be sure to check them out. The first video was about foundation courses kind of in general. The second video was specifically about GSA foundation, which is the foundation course that I did, and this is the third and final video, which is going to be a Q&A. I asked you guys for questions over on my Instagram, so if you don't follow my Instagram and you'd like to be involved in videos in the future, be sure to follow that, and I do lots of different question and answer things on my Instagram, so if you have any questions or you want to DM me questions, that is the best way to contact me. So I've taken your questions from Instagram, cable, and I've written them all down on my laptop so I can answer them for you. If I haven't answered your question, I'm really sorry, but I'll probably means I've answered it over the course of the last two videos, or if your questions were similar to other people, I've just picked one, as quite a lot of the questions I got were the same. But thank you so much to all of you that sent questions. I was really shocked at the amount of questions that I got sent, so thank you so much, it really means a lot. So I'm just going to get into the questions now because I have quite a lot to answer and I don't want this video to be 25 hours long. The first question is a very interesting one. I have two questions that are kind of similar, so I'm going to do them together, and it is a foundation course worth the risk of turning down a 3-year course if it feels right? Or the predicament of offered a foundation course at your dream school but you're offered degree or diploma at another school. What should you do? Now this is a very difficult question because obviously it's so personal and dependent on your situation. So I would say, it's hard, if you have been offered a foundation course at your dream school and you can afford to do it, I would go for it, because I feel like 1 year, it seems like a long time, but it's really not. It flies by, and if you have that opportunity, I think it's really worth taking. However, on the other hand, if you really can't afford it financially and it's going to be a big burden on you and your family, then you need to weigh up if it's worth that to do a foundation course. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's amazing to get to go to your dream school, but you need to weigh up if it's worth any sacrifices that you have to make. Again, I would always say do a foundation course, but you really need to weigh up the pros and cons for yourself and for your family because they aren't cheap. Okay, so the next question I had quite a lot of, and it's how often do people get into 3-year courses, or what proportion of a foundation course will get into a 3-year course? Now this question is basically impossible to answer. It is completely dependent on where you do your foundation course, the people in your year at your foundation course, what school's looking for that year. It's so difficult to say. A lot of courses will say on their website if they have like 100% satisfaction rate from students or whatever, but it's totally dependent on your year and your course. I think on my course, almost everyone got into a school that they wanted to go to, and if they didn't get in that year, they've got in the next year. So I'd say, like, just if you don't get in straight after your foundation, it doesn't mean that you can't get in the next year as long as you keep up your training. Obviously, most successful foundation courses have a really good uptake of students onto 3-year programs. The next question is, did I get a showcase on my foundation course? And yes, I did. We did a showcase at the end of the year for friends and family. Obviously very different to a 3rd-year showcase, which is about getting agents and stuff like that. This was literally just to show our parents what we've learned this year, show them where all their money's gone, and yeah, it was just a bit of a celebration because obviously it's the only time we were going to perform together as a year group because we were all going to different places. The next question is, why did I pick the GSA foundation course, and also which foundation courses did you audition for and where did you get offers from? So I kind of touched on this in my other video, but I would say I chose GSA foundation because I didn't want to be in London. I'd always loved the look of GSA. It was one of the schools that I really would have wanted to go to for a 3-year course, and I just felt like it was right for me at the time. I don't think it personally would have been right for me for a 3-year course because I don't think I could have stayed in Guildford for 4 years. So I was super happy for that year, and I could not have been in London for that year. I would have been way too scared. So for example, Erdang Foundation wouldn't have been the right place for me. However, after spending that year in Guildford and then being able to move to London, I feel really comfortable in London now and I love being at Erdang. So I think you just really need to see what's right for you in your situation, and as mine did, your situation can change. I really wanted to be in Guildford, and then I really wanted to be in London, so it all kind of comes around and you will end up where you're meant to be. Now, the foundation courses I auditioned for, I explained my whole situation of foundation course auditioning situation in the GSA foundation video, so be sure to check that out. But I auditioned for GSA, Emmerdale, Reed, and a fourth one, and I can't think for the life of me what it was. But anyway, I was very lucky and I got into all of the ones that I auditioned for, so I was really happy about that, and then obviously I chose GSA in the end. The next question is, how old do you have to be to do a foundation? Now, obviously check this on the school's websites because I am no expert, but I know for GSA I think you had to be 18, maybe 17, but I think it was 18 because I can't think of anyone on my course that was under 18. Now, so many questions were about money, so I'm going to address that now. So the first question is, can you get a maintenance loan for foundation course? No, you can't. How much are they? Around 9,000-ish. Obviously it will vary a little bit here and there. Can you get a student loan? No, you can't get a student loan. And are there any ways in which colleges will help you fund a foundation course? So yes, you can't get a student loan, you can't get maintenance loan, so that puts foundation courses out of the picture for a lot of people, which I know is so unfortunate. However, I found it interesting that someone asked, will colleges give you any help towards funding a foundation course? And this is something that I personally think, if you really think a foundation course is the right thing for you, you should look into this and contact schools and explain your situation if you really can't afford it, because I'm sure that if it's truly the right thing for you, they will help you fund it in some way if possible. This is a nice question. What was the highlight of my GSA foundation? So I have two kind of things. I'd say showcase and the summer time was a massive highlight. We all spent so much time together, auditions were over, the stress was mostly over. We had showcase, we had rehearsals, we had performances, it was just so much fun. But also I'd say some of the highlights were when people started getting into their dream schools, and the supportive atmosphere was incredible. I was very scared that when it came to the point where people were getting in places and people weren't getting in places, that it would get quite catty and competitive, but it was the complete opposite, which made my heart so full, and everyone was just so happy for each other. We all had the same goals, and when someone got into their dream school and they'd come in the next day literally screaming and crying, everyone would be so happy for them, and I can't even express to you the amount of love and support that was going on at that time. And obviously people were disappointed and didn't get into places, but there was always someone around to pick you up and lift your spirits, because everyone was going through the same situation, so we all knew exactly how each other felt. The next question is it too late to do a foundation course at 19? I would say 100% not. 19 is not old at all. What, you've been out of school for 1 year? And I feel like people think if they don't go to drama school straight after school, then they're a failure, and that is so not the case. There's people in first year at Erdang that are like 24, so it's really not a big deal at all. And at 19, you're still very young. And there was people on my foundation course older than 19, and I feel like you just need to do things at the stage that's right for you. So for some people, it's right for them to go to do a diploma at 16. For me, that personally wouldn't have been the right thing to do. I was not ready maturity-wise, I was not ready mentally, I was not ready physically to go and do that. However, for some people, it is right. And for me, it was right to do a foundation and then go to a 3-year course. So it's totally dependent on you as a person. And the final question is, when did you audition for 3-year courses while doing a foundation? So this is an interesting question. People think you have a whole year of training to practice for auditions and stuff, but realistically you don't. We started our foundation course in the first week of October, and I started auditioning in February. So it's kind of 6 months, not even. October, November, December, January. 4-5 months. I auditioned around February, March time. I had all my audition material by December. So it's so dependent on you. I know some people on my course started auditioning in December. Some people didn't audition till like May, which is really late. And some people say if you're on a foundation course, audition as late as possible. I personally, I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think auditioning in the middle is maybe a better situation, that's not the right word, a better bet to go for. Obviously if a school wants you, they'll take you whether you audition in November or June. Like if they want you, they're going to take you. But I personally auditioned around February, March time, and I had a few recalls in April. yeah, that was around the time most people in my course auditioned. Again, there was a few people earlier and a few people later, but you just need to go when you're ready and don't be in a rush to audition. People think if they go on the first audition date, then that means they're going to get in, which is not necessarily true, and you just need to go with when is right for you. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope I answered as many of your questions as I could. I'm really sorry if I missed some of them out, but you guys sent me loads, which was amazing. I hope this little foundation series has been helpful for you guys. If it has, give it a big thumbs up to let me know. And again, any questions, put them in the comments or send them to me on Instagram. I love chatting to you guys and helping you out, and I really do hope this has helped some of you out. And yes, that is it for this week's videos, and don't forget to subscribe to see next week's, and I will hopefully see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.